On August 5th, 1962, Princess Margaret finally pulled down the Union Jack after more than 300 years of British rule in Jamaica. The soundtrack to this newfound freedom was the first truly Jamaican music, the newly invented ska.
Because the time has come when we can have some fun, so take a run. You know, it was just a simple song, and the people them jumped to it and, you know, going around. Whoa, 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 we're independent, and, you know, flash them hand, and it was great. That was something to see, and never can come back in Jamaica.
We're independent.
Independence came at a time when ska wasn't in speak.
Yes.
And so it was just jubilation all around.
You understand?
You know, with the acceptance that we were now a free country and ska in its speak, and everyone just went crazy for it.
You couldn't go to a party before 62 we play ska. After that night, you had to play ska for the party to be successful. It was unbelievable. Everyone gravitated to it. This was something new, and I noticed something too. They had pride. When they looked at it, they said, "This is ours."
It would have been nice to say, well, independence caused people to want their own music, but the music preceded independence. But it was a wonderful coincidence because independence gave it further drive. The music came first.
The story of modern Jamaican music starts in the early 1950s in the poorer areas of downtown Kingston with the emergence of a uniquely Jamaican phenomenon, still at the heart of the music 50 years later, the sound system. The sound system is essentially a street discotheque with speakers big enough to raise a family in. It's where poor Jamaicans have been coming to dance till they drop ever since they stopped listening to jazz bands in the now ruined clubs all over the island.
You had sound system before recording. The Jamaica music started off with orchestra dance. But when the sound system came in, they replaced the musician because people used to hire these bands to play, but the musician used to stop and eat a lot of cargo, so it burned up a lot of time until, you know.
The band would go in intermission, and intermission forever. So the people got to get fed up of this no dance within the dance. So in the intermission, they made a mistake. They agreed that the first sound system should play in the intermission. That was the end of them. I never turned back. It was all about rhythm and blues.
As the 1950s rolled on, the music of Fats Domino, Ray Charles and Louis Jordan was streaming into the island from Southern American radio stations just over 90 miles away. And with the sound systems blasting it out most nights of the week, downtown Kingston went dance crazy. And like any craze, it was rich with opportunity.
People used to make money from it. You sell your own beer and you sell your own curry goat and rice, and you got the sounding system from 8 o'clock till like 6 in the morning, and they eating and dancing in the street. You get like 2,000-3,000 people, and you make a buck.
Sound systems became the biggest local industry in downtown Kingston, and competition was fierce. To pull in the punters, you had to have the best music blasting out of your system. The race was on for the hottest American tunes.
He's the Ricky sensation. You know, American people, they need cheap labor, so they bring it, cut them cane and things. But why you are there cutting cane? If you buy rhythm and blues, 6 times more money you get because you're going to sell it back to sound system people. So everybody anxious to go to the farmer, but not for cut cane. They want to go buy some record, you know?
Out of this fierce competition, 2 giants emerged, Clement Coxon Dodd and Arthur Duke Reid. Combining their liquor businesses with their sound system dances, they were effectively the barons of downtown Kingston and would continue to control the Jamaican music business for the next 15 years.
They could run the country those days because people, anywhere the sound string up, you have the crowd of people there before. They used to play in competition. It come in now like Joe Fraser and Holly.
Joe Fraser is the man who go on this dance and him go to the gate and him get everybody out of the gate money for coming on and dance, you know? And the people they believe all the cocks and dance and come on a Joe Creed. Sometimes them just take the money and go to the cocks and dance just the same, you know what I mean? So it's like that. So all of them used to be at war, you know? The sound system thing, man. It's a traditional thing. You can't stop it. It come from way back, you know? Come on.
Yes, suddenly rum is served to sophisticates because suddenly Jamaican rum has regained its place among the great drinks of the world.
You read that rum there when it don't sell in the stores. If you think rum is strong, you ask about rude to your parents. When you throw water, you know what happened? Yes. Throw chasing it, what do you think happened? Smoke. The smoke, vapors thing, right? And that is what the brother might drink. Like they have cocaine now, that was for them cocaine. So after Duke Reed, give them 2 drinks of root to your parents and send them go cocks and dance. The dance done. People are jump fence to get out the fast.
Duke Reed, he had a program on the radio, I think 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon called Treasure Isle Time. They would advertise the liquor business and then he would, on those programs, they would play newly made Jamaican records.
To drink some more, but when I look at the clock, it was 3:45.
To promote their sound systems, Reed and his competitors had turned to record producing by the end of the 50s, but not as we know it today. They had no intention of selling records to anyone else. They brought jazz musicians down from the tourist hotels to play Jamaican versions of American R&B, and then they just made one copy of each record to play on their sound system and achieve the much-prized exclusive.
We start imitating the rhythm and blues songs like say Smiley Lewis or Professor Longyear or Louis Jordan, and you know those kind of beats. We tried to imitate it. It didn't turn out that way, so we decided to keep this as our own type. That's how that can come in.
Styling like those was really rhythm and blues. What we did to this rhythm and blues is like you'll be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this kind of we change it to 1, 2, 3. And then it's more 2, 4, 2, 4 instead of 1.
Last night, Papa Mommy jumped into the closet door. Mama said, no, Papa, you're real gone down. Easy stopping. Easy stopping. Easy stopping. But even while you jumped and tried.
This is Jamaica's first musical revolution. And we call it ska. And then ska was a dirty word. But what it was terribly influenced by Jamaican activities of the people, you know. Culture of Jamaica was pushed into it. And when the people took it on that fast, right, they just grabbed to it because it was them.
This is the way of life of the lower class people. We haven't got anything else. What else we have? I mean, the middle class or the upper class can buy a ticket and go to Miami or somewhere like that. That's all you have. You don't know anything else.
You would not find the creative force that comes out of the inner city in the residential areas in Jamaica, because they are more settled into a pattern, into a tradition. And there's a social divide and a cultural divide. We live in two countries. When ska was popular downtown, it had no popularity uptown.
In 1960, much of uptown Jamaica still preferred American music, and many of the jazz musicians who had invented ska were making a living playing the tourist resorts of the North Coast.
I used to have a serious type of class prejudice in those days, let's call it that way. You know, and it would have hurt my career in a certain sense. You couldn't go uptown and play ska music, so it was really like an outlaw type of music, you know.
In 1960, Prince Buster started his own sound system. To steal a march on his rivals, he approached the ultimate outcasts of Jamaican society, the Rastafarians, who since the 30s had looked to Africa rather than Europe as a model. He persuaded Count Ozzy and his master drummers down from the Warwicker Hills into a recording studio.
In those days, if you say it's a Rasta, all the avenues blocked for you now. And when I make Carolina, that the Rasta, whole Rasta speak. Because now, them, it was not the music world, them could play upon sound system. And if you play upon sound system on the island, everybody go and hear you.